Yes, Jerry Amokwandoh. Heal him.
Auntie Jendai just said that we want reparations. We don't just want reparations, we do reparations. That is what we're all here to do. It's not just about compensation or pays out. We're here to learn about ourselves, to repair. Repair is an internationally recognized law. Every people should have the right to reparations and remedies. Don't ask me, this is codified in international law. So when we stand here today, know that it is our right to self-determine as people. It is our right to break free from colonial domination. It is our right to not live at the expense of our own family. It is our right to be free from exploitation, and that's what we're here to do today. We're taking the UK government to court, and we all are taking the UK government to court. In fact, we don't need their systems to tell us what this is. We've been knowing what justice is, but there's one important question that we have to ask ourselves right now today. I'm not the first person to ask this question, but it's a question that I believe that everyone should be asking themselves every generation. We need to know what time it is, and we have to be very serious about what time it is. And I say this as a young person concerned for my life, but for the future of a family, of a global African family. And so let's put that in context, because we're talking about genocide and ecocide. What does that mean? What does that look like? They're now saying that by the end of the century, 4 billion people will be displaced, and those are white conservative estimates. What does it mean when 4 billion people, and you know we will be there, will be floating trying to get to the so-called promised land, because that is still the lie that we're exporting around the world. What does it mean when we get to that point and we're nationless people? Because the fact is that we're here now, and the UK military leaked papers a few months ago. And in those papers they said in the event of a 4-degree world, that means towards the end of this century, in my lifetime, in our children's lifetimes, that they'll be prepared to go out and secure loot and secure resources. They're planning for the end of the world, and we're out here still discussing questions that we need to move on from, because we have a united destiny. The symbol I'm wearing today means that we are united in diversity. We are the most beautiful, varied people on this planet. And we have a history of 10,000 years that in the hands of the wrong people, they would happily end tomorrow. And that is what they're currently planning for. And so we're here organising not only as a family here, but as a global African family, to take the UK government to court. And it's important that we know our rights. It's funny, I've been through 3 stages of education and I've not come out knowing what my human rights are. We're not getting educated to know the very basics of what we need to survive as people. And that is a violation of our human rights. That's a violation of Article 2, the right to life. Article 8, the right to family life, which includes an international family. And that's the case we're taking to the UK court, because we're not just charging genocide and ecocide, we're exposing that their system is incapable of providing us justice. And in the meantime, we will organise and we will engage our peoples as a global African family. And that's what we're here to do today. And that's what reparations means. And let's get that very clear. Maangamizi is a serious reality that we know too well. I don't have to tell you this. We feel it in our blood, it's in our ancestry, we feel it in our roots. And that's the psychological violence that we live with every day, but we're here and we're stronger than that. That's what we're doing here today. So yeah, I'm from a little campaign. We're working to organise our people around the world, because it's so important that we're united and understand that we can say Black Lives Matter, but if that does not mean all African lives, then we've fallen into the trap of who they wanted us to be, a divided people, capable of being totally destroyed. And so we're taking the UK government to court because they know that we know our rights, and that we know that liberation is a human right. And when we assert that, we're unstoppable. So that's what we're here today. Love, family, every time. Thank you so much.
Majority versus, that's global majority versus as in VS. Global majority versus. Follow this case on Twitter, on Instagram. These are 3 young people who are co-claimants. They are in their 20s. What were you doing in your 20s?
Bye.